Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into the absolute chaos and, frankly, the catastrophic failures of the ultimate treasure hunt. We're going to look closely at what actually happens when overwhelming greed meets a literal, complete lack of common sense. As you'll see from the source material, it's wild how a simple quest for wealth turns into this escalating series of near-death experiences, all totally fueled by some hilariously terrible decision-making. Just imagine handing over the controls of an aircraft to someone whose only qualification is their last name. I mean, the guy's surname is Pilot, but he literally cleans airplanes for a living. Yet he decides to just take off anyway based purely on watching people? It's exactly this brand of confidently flawed logic that drives every single action we're looking at today.
All right, let's jump straight into part one, comedic disasters and incompetence.
So, even before they know anything about a treasure, their every action is basically defined by this hilarious expectation versus reality arc. For example, one character is boasting about his car's brand new Japanese human sensors, right? He confidently tells someone to test it out by slamming the heavy car door on his hand. The expectation? The sensor miraculously stops the door. The reality? A completely crushed hand and a very painful, very hasty apology. It perfectly captures how their totally unearned confidence just instantly leads to disaster. To put that into perspective, picture a high-end art gallery with an antique vase worth 50 lakh rupees. 50 lakh! A group of these characters was tasked with delicately cleaning this 300-year-old piece. But, well, instead of treating it with the care that a high-value antique demands, they scrub it so hard, with so much chaotic energy, that they completely destroy its value. They turned a high-end art gallery into a literal pile of junk. And their disastrous track record just escalates from there. Throw in a highly unethical bidding war during an actual emergency rescue, where victims are literally negotiating rescue prices from 1 to 2 lakhs while hanging precariously in a crashed car. Add that fake pilot who only knows how to clean planes but crashes one anyway, and you've got a recipe for utter disaster. It's just a continuous loop of terrible decisions, leaving a massive trail of destruction. Which brings us to part two, the turning point and the 50 crore secret. So all their chaotic paths finally converge when they stumble upon a dying man in a crashed car. Now you'd think they'd call an ambulance, right? No. They treat this dying man like a broken household appliance. When he loses his voice right before revealing a massive secret, they don't do CPR. Instead, they apply this highly unorthodox thump to his chest, basically relying on the logic of fixing a broken village radio. And the crazy thing is, in the absurd rules of this universe, it actually works. He miraculously gets his voice back to reveal his secret. And man, what a secret it is. Suddenly the stakes skyrocket from a ruined 50 lakh vase to a massive 50 crore hidden treasure. 500 million rupees. This literally changes everything for them. The dying man admits he stole it, but since his time is up, he decides to pass the info to this gang of misfits purely because he recognizes they're just as greedy and dishonest as he is. The dying animal trainer maps out a very specific 3-step mission for them. Step 1, get to the Janakpur Zoo. Step 2, bypass the dangerous animals. He warmly notes they were like children to him, but yeah, they'll undoubtedly be deadly to the gang. And Step 3, find a specific, beautiful box marked with an OK sign. That OK is the literal key to 50 crores.
So, how do they get there? Let's move to part three, the climax, and the absolutely disastrous helicopter ride.
To beat the competition to the zoo, they eagerly pay 2 lakhs for a chopper ride, but they end up boarding this rusted junker. And when I say junker, I mean it features a literal household ceiling fan attached as the rear rotor. Plus, the kerosene meant for fuel is just stored casually in a plastic drinking water bottle. Oh, and the crowning jewel? A complimentary muffler handed out to passengers purely to make identifying their corpses easier when they inevitably crash. And the pilot? He's completely unbothered by what a death trap this is.
Of course, that household back fan snaps off midair. But the pilot's justification, it is a stroke of absurd genius. He argues that, sure, they know it's a broken house fan, but the helicopter doesn't know it's a house fan, so the machine should just keep flying through sheer ignorance. I mean, it's a brilliant line that just highlights the complete abandonment of physics and reason.
The climax really hits peak chaos when a fire suddenly breaks out in the chopper. Panicking, they grab what they think is water to put out the flames, but as you can probably guess, they mixed up the containers. Instead of dousing the flames with water, they accidentally hurl the water bottle filled with kerosene directly onto a raging fire inside a plummeting helicopter. As they're nose-diving toward the ground, having essentially firebombed their own helicopter because of this fatal error,
The bewildered pilot screams one final provocative question at them. Are they brilliant, boundary-pushing scientists of chaos or just terrorists to their own survival? I really hope this explainer has given you a newfound appreciation for how hilariously disastrous the pursuit of 50 crores can be when logic is completely left at the door.